I'm Özge Genç-Üstün, one of the emergency preparedness consultants from Ready or Not. The project is part of Northeast Document Conservation Center's preservation services, and it is supported by California State Library. And personally, as a visitor on this land, originally from Turkey, I strive to deepen my own understanding of the local and California indigenous communities. Therefore, I would like to begin by acknowledging that I am located on the ancestral and current homelands of the Tongva Gabrielino people, who are the past, present, and future caretakers of the Los Angeles Basin and Southern Channel Islands. I commit to reframing my responsibilities to land and community. And as an EDCC, we honor and extend our respects to the many indigenous people who call these lands home. The Ready or Not Cultural Heritage Disaster Preparedness Project is a 3-year initiative from 2022 to 2025. We have $3.14 million from funding provided by the state of California, administered by the California State Library. Ready or Not provides free on-site emergency assessments and recommendations for preparedness planning. This includes tribal organizations, archives, libraries, museums, cultural organizations, and history centers. The Ready or Not team is located in San Diego County, Sacramento, Merced, and Los Angeles. Our team has past work experience in libraries, archives, museums, historic societies, and archaeology. The team includes Mario Gallardo on the left upper hand side, Victoria Wong next to me, Caroline Weiler, Jason Pardita on the lower left corner, and Hillary Ellis on the right-hand side, our lead emergency preparedness, and myself, who work on emergency preparedness consultations. And we have our outreach and travel coordinator, Celeste Knight, who is with us here today. The project team provides assistance with disaster preparedness strategies and emergency protocols. Of course, when you get preservation specialists on site, we also mention anything we see about risk assessment and storage conditions. We look to help each organization we visit with improvements for preservation and emergency planning. This may take the form of training and toolkits. We send templates and resources along with our best practices recommendations. On each site visit, the emergency preparedness consultant meets with staff and volunteers at an organization. We assess disaster risk for the region, site of the building, cultural heritage materials, and for people. Our consultation encourages the organization to gather a team of people to write their disaster plan. The consultant does not write the plan for them. The disaster planning process itself is crucial to disaster preparedness. It encourages communication, documentation, and collaboration, all of which are important skills for successful disaster response. We observe what an organization is currently practicing and what they need to improve their emergency preparedness. We also help small organizations understand risk assessment for archives and cultural heritage materials. So best practices like integrated pest management, documenting water leaks or incidents, and monitoring temperature and humidity conditions in storage. After the visit is complete, we provide the organization with an assessment report. Our Ready or Not consultant is available to answer questions and follow up upon how the organization is doing with disaster planning. On the day of the site visit, our emergency preparedness consultant meets with the organization's staff or volunteers. The consultation includes an interview and discussion with questions about current practices for emergency preparedness. We also ask about past incidents like how did staff respond to a burst pipe, a flooded basement, or a wildfire evacuation. In the second part of the visit, the group walks through all cultural heritage or archive storage areas and other areas of the building. And on this picture, you see Victoria Wong visited Michupta Indian tribe of Chico Rancheria, and she took this picture. Ready or not, consultants try to identify risks for the region or location, taking an all hazards approach. Examples are earthquake fault line, potential landslide, flood, sinkhole, man-made disasters like airplane or train crash, terrorism, or civil disturbances, and climate change-related hazards are also discussed. We talk about risk assessment for cultural heritage materials. Maybe an organization has no integrated pest management, environmental monitoring, or UV and/or visible light damage assessment. Collections may be at risk of physical damage from overcrowded storage conditions. In addition, many organizations we visit have limited or sometimes no paid staff to take care of their collections. We discuss whether materials have an inventory, cataloging, and how materials are identified. This is meaningful for evacuation in a disaster. Knowing what you had before, any cultural heritage items had to be moved off-site or protected. During risk assessment, our goal is to identify the threats the most likely to occur and with the highest impact. Each organization that has a visit from Ready or Not is provided an emergency preparedness assessment report. The report includes key priorities to address. We make observations about emergency preparedness, risk assessment, and business continuity plans for the organization. We have observations and recommendations about risk mitigation. The report includes templates and toolkits for the organization to develop their disaster plans. We also offer a list of resources in California and nationally. Who can participate? Any organization with cultural materials can participate. We are particularly interested in reaching tribal organizations and cultural centers, tribal libraries, since this is an opportunity to participate in a free assessment. We also know that some organizations started a disaster plan but need to update it or continue to add to it. We can help with that. You can see our map here with pinpoints for all the places we have on our list of cultural heritage organizations in California. We hope to reach about 600 site visits in the 3-year project. And I would like to remind you that more funding is coming up, and through this project, you will automatically be eligible for a micro grant. And depending on the needs of the museum, this may mean more shelving units or small collections improvement projects. And then additional capital improvement grants are also being considered for organizations needing to do major renovations to safely house their cultural heritage collections. And this could mean HVAC improvement projects or proper collection storage projects. And applications for these grants will be pretty straightforward. And with that, I would like to thank you for joining us for this info session. This is our contact information if you're interested in scheduling a consultation. I welcome any questions in the chat. And if you run out of time, please leave your email address with your question, and I will follow up after the meeting. And also, project webpage is www.nedcc.org/CaliforniaReady, and you can contact us californiaready@nedcc.org, and you can stay in touch and updated by following our social media. And Celeste Knight is here also. She will put her contact information on the chat. And let me stop recording.